Hey, everybody. How you doing? How you doing? It's the last Tuesday of the month. So you know what that means. That's right. You right here. You are live. You are in the Poets House. This is the Poets House Live, and we got a special treat for you. Yes, we do. Some of you might, I don't know if you're tricking. I don't know if you're treating. I don't know which one you like to do, but I think we got a treat for you. Absolutely, we do. We got Ayo The Orator, who's going to be in the building with me here this evening. If we got some poets out there who want to get some poetry in, come on in and join the conversation. I'll give you an opportunity to do that a little bit later within the show. So get ready and let me know. You'll have to let me know in the comments, and I'll make sure that I get the link out to you. I'll make sure that I do that. I see we got Tiffany Brown already in the building from Darlington, South Carolina. How you doing, Tiffany? Good to have you. Good to have you in the building. All right. Ayo, you in the building.
I'm in the building, and it feels so good in here.
All right. What makes it feel so good to you?
Nostalgia. It's just everything I remember. I'm born, 1976? This feels like my own grandmother's living room. Or my mom's living room. I'm at home right now.
That's the idea of the Poet's House. A little bit of nostalgia, a little bit of that, mix a little bit of that old with the new, got some of that eclectic funk, feeling real artistic. Oh, you know what? I started the show. I did the wrong thing. Hold on. I got to change my glasses.
Oh, it's like a Mr. Rogers. You got to put the sweater on.
Boom.
There you go.
And here I am. When I put my glasses on, my voice changes.
Is that what it does?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Welcome. I tell you what, today, we wanted to do something a little different. It is October 31st, and, people call it Halloween. What that mean?
I don't know. What's hollow about the wing? I don't know.
You got to tell me. People are out here celebrating. People have their own ideas. Now, for me, I mean, when we're younger, we're out there, we're trying to get the treats.
Trying to get the bag. The bag was different then, though.
It was very different when we were getting the bag. You used to like to go to that house. If you showed up at a house and they already had the bags like pre-filled and they had like the good candy, the candy bar, we called that the good candy.
The good candy.
That was the house that you really, really liked. But I don't really know the history of why we do that. And I got to be honest, it hadn't been too much of my interest to find out at this point in my life. But what are your thoughts on it?
My thoughts is that they're just rituals.
Mm-hmm.
And most of them have to do with sexuality.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Now, see, I wasn't expecting. Now, see,
I know we went there early. It's supposed to be later in the evening, but yeah.
I'm just saying that I absolutely know nothing about. I thought we was getting ready to get into because this is Thriller. The
we're
werewolves.
Gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Yeah, the ghouls and the goblins kind of come a little bit later.
The zombies.
But, it was more about, pacifying the children so that the grown-ups could pacify each other.
Well, you know what? We're not even going to talk about that.
Moving right along.
I'm serious. If that is it, I don't even want to know. Next. Speaking of Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
Oh, come on with the Thriller. What do you know about? Do you remember Thriller though? I mean,
I actually do. I remember being in 3rd grade, and it was just a big deal. We had to learn all the words and the moves. Everybody wanted the clothes and all the lace.
Okay?
Yeah,
Well,
the lace and the frills for the dead ladies, the dead lady lace.
Because I tell you what, I did look up because I was interested in this because I wanted to remember the year that that video came out. Because when videos came out, when Michael Jackson came out with a video, that was just like a huge deal. I mean, it was like a TV premiere. You sat around the TV. You know what I'm saying? And that video was released on December 2nd, 1983.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep. 3rd grade.
Yes, it was. And the album that it came off of is by the same title, Thriller, and it came out November 30th, 1982. So actually, yesterday was an anniversary for Thriller.
Did you hear anything big about it? I didn't. I mean, I'm not really into radio.
I did not. I didn't hear anything about it. Me either, because I don't listen to the. I don't even think people listen to the radio as much as they did. You know, so and I certainly didn't see anything online about it. So I'm actually kind of surprised. So when I looked these facts up, I was like, well, that was just yesterday. You would think that we would have heard something about it, but no, I didn't hear anything. Nothing. Crickets.
You should have had that as your little sound right now.
I don't have any crickets.
Got to get you some crickets.
I got to get some crickets. What's wrong with my sound machine that it don't have crickets?
Crickets.
Oh, too bad, too bad.
But no, Thriller was really a big deal because it was like a movie.
It was.
So much went into making that. It was really like a movie.
In fact, it changed the way that video. Actually, Michael Jackson changed the way that people started making videos because it was really like a small film. Yes. To be honest, it really, really was. And there was just so much detail. You could see it was well written. Of course, it had the great dance choreography, and lots of people were, everybody. The dance is iconic, right?
Yeah, I still got that little. And then they clap. Oh wait, let's see if we can get it. You do the little side thing, and then you clap over the top.
Right. That was a huge deal. So it was like a whole movie. And then he had the iconic Vincent Price, his voice was in there for the voiceover. So it was like a collaboration of those type of things. The werewolf, he turned into a werewolf. So it had all of the themes, and of course the zombie dancers,
And really coming out of the ground, like making things look really real.
It did. It was. You were in the 3rd grade. I was in high school, but as a 3rd grader, and you said it looked really real.
It was scary.
That's what I was going to ask you.
We were terrified, especially when he had the contacts in. That was it. Yes. And then at the end, when he turned around and he was still it, he still had that it in him. Yeah, that bothered us for a long time.
Yeah. It had to be. I mean, if we go back and look at it now, because, technology has changed.
You laugh
so much,
at it.
Right. But that was the thing. It really, really was. A part of pop culture, actually. What else was interesting about that video? I think those were kind of the key things, because Michael Jackson just kind of broke a lot of barriers,
especially since they were 7-day Adventists, or were they Adventists?
No,
they're Jehovah's Witnesses.
Right.
Yeah.
I think that's how he grew up. Now I'm not sure if he maintained that, because you know how people do. You can grow up in the church, but when you leave the house, you may or may not continue.
You may not.
All right, poet. This is the Poet's House Live. I think you need to do a little piece of poetry. How you feeling? You got the voice ready?
Scary? Yeah. Let's see if we can. get a little scary. I was trying to find some morbid. We'll see.
Well, this is the haunted edition.
The haunted. Let's get a little haunted.
Let's get a little haunted. Come on.
There once was a girl, wise but not grown, for she had no fears of her own. She holds her tongue in silence a bit beyond strong, tendering her ear to one song. Through the eyes of amber hazel, the world is but a stage. The role is to live, then die at a particular age. And that's what a girl does after loss of mother's pride. She is found drowned in the tears she free-flowingly cries. They cut out her skeleton. They cut out her brain. They cut out her privates. They put her on display for money too. Signifying monkey, personifying monk, key, meditate. Warm, then cold tones, lotus, flower, and lily pad. Nanny boo boo, peekaboo. Signify monkey, personify monk, bald head, rebirth, vulture, phoenix, penitentiary, pent up energy, ace boon, bosom buddy, sing monk, person, monkey, tropical fruit, offspring, offering, tree hugger, Buddha, mark, swing, levitate, igniting ankh, monkey to monk, musical chairs, thinking collective, connective like Lincoln log and crossbearer, the wearer of strange garb, starve to hear quiet, intricacies in thought, gently rhyme reason, pleasure sounds, yes and no, without shoulder pixie, without sticker stone, low banter on the eardrum, vibration, frequently hum the microcosmic microtone, chatterbox beyond the head, that is telepathy. That's where I went with that.
All right. Let me ask you a question. Because you're reading now from, why don't you let people know
where I'm reading from? I'm reading from Backwater Blues. It's my novel, and it is about how Black women survive the Great Depression. And in this book, the characters are descendants of Yoruba. So they know a bit about voodoo and the practices. They still remember these practices. And it gets a little dark because there's lynchings, fear. That's actually what I wanted to talk about. Halloween in relation to fear. For Blacks, our fears are coming from the slave narrative. So it's like we don't need to make up any monsters. We don't need to make up any scary things because we had real substantial fears.
Now,
Yeah, I went there.
You said something. Okay. Tiffany says that was beautiful. All right. We also have Jamaica in the building. She said, dang, I'm seasoned. Good evening, ladies. Good evening. Yeah,
yeah, we don't have to make up any monsters.
We don't. Like, everyone has their stories. We have people in America who are preparing for the zombie apocalypse. They're really prepared for it. They feel like they need to be prepared. They don't believe in global warming, but they're preparing for zombies. So I don't get it. I'm like, only in America.
Only in America.
And you're right. We don't have to make up monsters. We've seen it, like the whole idea of, man and the beast. We've seen men do some horrible things, and men not in terms of gender, just mankind.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yes.
We've seen them do such horrible things to each other, to other people, so I get where you're coming from. And if you think about some of the stories that were told, like we said, the zombies, I know that we were talking a little bit pre-show, and we were talking about some of the nursery rhymes and things of that nature. What comes to mind for you?
One nursery rhyme is, I kind of have to sing it, so it's like this. Have you seen the ghost of John? Long white bones with the skin all gone. Ooh, ooh. Wouldn't it be chilly with no skin on? Yeah, eerie.
And they have young people singing that.
You know, just skipping around like it's nothing.
Right. Only.
Yeah, only in America.
Only.
But how we introduce fear, how we keep fears going,
Mhm.
yeah, that kind of thing pops into my head too. Instead of changing, well, we're always talking about change the narrative, change the narrative. We don't change our narrative to make ourselves feel like strengthen human character
Mhm.
because we've gone through so much. But instead of saying how strong we are, we still kind of get stuck in the fear. You know, when I think about our ancestors, you know, I think about the power that comes off of, well, that's where our hurricanes come from, you know, adding stories like that. Well, that's where our hurricanes come from. That's the power, you know, we have now that we lost them to such, you know, just travesty. But, you know, just pulling the strength off of what you've survived.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You took me somewhere with that. But you're right. When you're talking about where the hurricanes come from and they form out, you know, in
Out of that Middle Passage.
right. And they travel
Same route.
the same route.
Now that ought to scare you. Well, not you as in us, but that ought to scare you.
And that's some real stuff that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Prepare for that.
Each season.
Prepare for that. Now, you know, I don't understand how we've got that mixture of the ghosts and the goblins and the candy and the treats. I don't get it. How does that even go together? How do we decide to well, not we, but I don't know, people subscribe to it. I mean, as a kid, I've rung doorbells, you know, and there are kids who are doing that right about now.
And they don't know why they're doing it.
The same, and neither do I.
They don't know why they're doing that.
I never knew.
But it's rituals. And I also think that I'm gonna go here.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say too much, but it's rituals to summon certain kinds of energy because you want certain kinds of energy during certain times of the year. So you're summoning demonic energy. We don't realize that that's what we're doing. We're participating in the summoning of demons.
I tell you what,
or dark energy, if you want to say dark energy.
I tell you what, I'm not messing with no dark energies.
I don't want it like that. I want to stay in the light.
The light.
So there won't be any candy at my house. You know, I won't be handing out candy.
Yeah.
Now, I did put up some decorations for the children. Like, I did make a post where I kind of spoke to the golden rule,
Mm-hmm.
you know, doing to others as you have them doing to you. But just respecting where people are in their celebrations and their ideas about what they're celebrating. And you don't have to be standoffish. So I did put up some decorations for the children today because that's where they are. And, you know,
Right.
some parents support that and kept my opinions to myself, so to speak, but just not overly doing it because that's not really what I'm about.
Right.
But just enough, you know, so they know that I'm understanding to what they're doing and their traditions. They're not my beliefs.
I got you. I got you. You sure have made this haunted. I'm nervous.
They should be nervous. They should be really, really scared because we do have the power to channel our ancestors and we can ask for certain things. Now, we kind of talked a little bit about voodoo in Haiti, you know, and that culture, but I'm not afraid of those things. I'm not afraid to call out to anyone who survived so much travesty and pull that energy to do something positive, or pull that energy to just be a stronger spiritual person or a stronger minded being. And knowing that we can go through anything. We don't have to go through so much, but we can go through a lot and be strong standing.
Right.
And that's the energy I like. Well, I try to pull the light out of the dark, if that makes sense.
It does.
Yeah.
And I think that's important. Like, because I got to tell you something, the conversation can go so many different ways. If we think about it that way, and if we want to have a conversation on that level, then yes, we could have that particular conversation. And then it just depends on who's in the room, what the energy is like. You know what I mean? So, and I'm thinking about this. There's just so many things that are going on in the world right now. So many things that are not good.
That are haunting.
Really. And, you got to say more than, I want to pray for peace.
Mm-hmm.
Because with all of the horrible things that we see going on, there's wars all over the place. There's just crazy things going on in our own country politically. And when you think about it, for us as Americans who are paying tax dollars that are funding wars, that are going places that we don't directly have, say over, it's not a good position to necessarily be in, because we all want the same things. We want to be able to take care of ourselves. We want to be able to take care of our kids, to have shelter, just the basics of life. That's what we want for people. And so to see all of the things that are going on right now, it kind of puts me in the same mindset of saying, well, I don't know what to think about Halloween. I don't know what to even think about what is going on in the world right now. It's just a lot. And that is just the very least to say. And to think about it, like we're doing a live right now, right?
Yes.
And we're trying to curate this conversation. And believe it or not, we still have to be careful about the things that we say. And I find that as a poet, as a storyteller, as a content creator, someone who wants to engage in conversation, it's difficult to even talk nowadays because we have to watch what we say. And
and I have the tendency to just push the line with it. But yeah, sometimes I find myself kind of pulling back and monitoring or censoring myself. I don't like that. That is not comfortable for me at all to censor.
It's so difficult. It is so very difficult. How you doing, Amina? Good to have you in the building.
Amina.
Yeah, peace and blessings to you and those beautiful babies that you have there. Blessings,
with
blessings.
Their celestial eyes.
Oh,
beautiful celestial eyes.
Aren't they? Oh, such beautiful, beautiful little girls. But yeah, I find it very challenging. I find it very challenging to do podcasting and to do this and to have conversations with people. I seriously have to, quote unquote, think about what I want to say or how I want to say it, because you can't just say it anymore. You can't. And we live in what
freedom of speech country. Yeah,
right.
Afraid to say. Yeah. That's why, again, I try to go right back to the light or get back to the fun, what we consider the fun. It might be a little foolish, but get back to the fun. And when I think about Halloween, I think about us pretending to be something that we're not, just for that one day.
It is. Now, I agree with you, because there is if you're going to do that, there is a fun side of it, because I like seeing, for us and for our culture of people, I like when I see the young people, they dress up as historical figures or some of our greats and some of our legends. I love to see that,
Did you participate in Halloween as a kid?
As a kid, yes.
So, like, what were your characters that you dressed up as? Or do you remember you got a favorite one or
no
certain candies? I remember just wanting to be Wonder Woman.
No, I get
the whole
love Wonder Woman.
The whole Wonder Woman outfit. With a little plastic mask, and constantly sticking your tongue through a little hole until you cut your tongue, and then You couldn't eat your candy right. Messed up your tongue trying to wear the mask. Yeah, funny wearing that mask.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, the mask.
That's deep.
Yeah.
You got to wear the mask.
We all wear the mask.
I don't know, but you know what? I can't remember any of those Halloween things. Like I don't have any fun because it was what it
So
was.
no
and it
bag
wasn't a big deal.
snatching? We used to bag snatch.
No.
We would just let the kid get the best bag, and yeah, we grabbing bags.
That wasn't
It was a big thing to grab the bags.
I don't know what neighborhood.
Well, I grew up in the bottom, so I'm going to say we snatching your bag.
Okay. They didn't do that. No, they didn't do that.
Y'all lived on the nice streets where everybody shared. How much did you get? Well, let's even out the bags. No, we're not evening out any bags in the bottom.
No,
We're snatching your bag.
It was none of that. It was a kind Halloween.
Oh, it was kind, especially if your bag was full of baby roots. It was really, really kind to snatch that bag.
Ooh.
And of course, no fruit, because here's the fear again, adding the fear of people wanting to do harmful things to you. So, razor blades being in the apples or the oranges, or stuff like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
It did begin to get a little dangerous, I see we got Stephanie in the building. Good evening. How you doing, lady? What are some of you guys? We see you chiming in here. I see some eyeballs in here watching. What are some of your Halloween memories? What are some of your Halloween memories? What are some of your Halloween thoughts? Go ahead and let us know some of that. Type some of that up in the chat. And while they do that, why don't you read us a little something again from Backwater Blues?
Oh, well, I can tell you a quick story, a scary story, while I look for something else.
Go ahead.
Okay. Now this might get me in trouble, but like I said, I push.
No,
listen, I gotta do it. I gotta do it.
You're
I
not
want
getting ready
this.
to get me in trouble.
No, you don't. No, you're safe. You're completely in the safe zone.
Because what I'm getting ready to do, I'm getting. Listen,
mothers. This is a mother story, and she's been ascended for 20 some odd years. She's not gonna bother anybody.
No. All I'm saying is, if I have to mute you, I will.
So you got the answer wrong.
You are not getting ready to get me striked because we are live. I can't edit this.
No, it's good. You're in the safe zone.
Okay, now.
And then I'll read something really quickly.
All right.
Okay, so this is a mother story. I don't know how many of y'all have the fear of your mother in you. Some have the fear of God, but some have the fear of their mother. And this is how I got the fear of my mother in me. One time we were little, and we had a neighbor that was, not very kind. And my mom got fed up with this neighbor. So she had us all come inside so we could pray. And she prayed with her children. And I promise you, she said, God, I don't care how you move her. Just move her. And the next morning, her house was burning down to the ground. And the heat coming off of the house was so hot that the firemen literally had to wet our house with the water hose to keep us from catching. Scary.
And now I'm going to read some of these comments. All right, Stephanie said, homemade costumes were the best. I remember being Wonder Woman in a homemade fit. Girl, I know that was what was going on. I also see we got Tiffany Brown here. She said, my favorite memories would be my grandma telling us scary stories in the dark with a flashlight. That's a good one. And we used to do that as kids. We would we get in the closet and we get a flashlight and we tell some little scary stories. I also see we got Amina here. She said, I don't celebrate Halloween. I love seeing people enjoying their creative side, which I know is linked to our inner child, but the capitalism blows it for me. You know what? Yeah. That the idea that the creativity can be limited due to what's dubbed pop culture icons. But I love the homemade costumes. I also wish it promoted healthier treats. But like Ayo Matasari said, the tampering with the fruit makes it scary. Overall, I wish people took more opportunities to connect with their inner child. Now that I can get with. You know, she hit a lot of good points there.
I love Amina.
Yeah. She hit a lot of good points. And I could just imagine. I wish Stephanie had some pictures of that homemade Wonder Woman costume. Probably had on some of her mama bracelets.
Big bangles.
Yeah, big belt around the waist. You know what I'm saying?
Don't forget the tiara.
Okay. Yes. All right. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love. But let me tell you something. Like I said, I don't have any memories. I cannot remember not one costume. So that tells you how much I didn't really think so much about Halloween, you know. Let's see, we got Keep the Faith with Tori. She said, I just got home. I definitely will be watching a replay. Hi, y'all. How you doing, Tori?
Hey, Tori.
Good to have you in the building. We're talking about some of those Halloween memories that you might have. Maybe if you have a memory of one of your favorite costumes. Me, gone. That's gone.
No. What your favorite candy?
That's a good one. Favorite candies. What are some of your favorite candies?
Well, I said mine was Baby Ruth. I just wanted those.
I like Mr. Good Bars too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Reese's Cups was another good one. If you got the Reese's Cups, you got something good. I'm trying to tell you. All right. Well, y'all, you know, we're having a conversation here. It's Halloween. This is
the haunted edition.
The haunted edition. And I tell you what, that girl haunted me just now. We ain't gonna make nobody mad this evening.
No. We won't make anybody angry.
Okay. All right, Tiffany. She liked those Snickers. Yeah, my sister used to like the Snickers. Snicker bars. That's a real popular one. That's a favorite. Kit Kats.
Did anybody get down with the Milky Way? Or was that the throwaway candy? You know, you always got the dark chocolate. And you know you got the throwaway candy. The fillers.
Nobody liked those Milky Ways.
I don't think anybody was with those Milky
Ways. Somebody got to like the Milky Way because they still making them.
I know, right? But they were giving them away today. Like they were trash.
I don't want no Milky Ways.
Oh, Milky Way.
Oh boy, that's crazy. I was never big on Hollywood. We got Keep the Faith with Tori here. She said, I was never big on Halloween. I just love the after Halloween sale on the candy. Now see.
Extra candy.
That's a good one. So tomorrow you can go get all your candies, you know, a little slash on the prices. But speaking of candy, hold on. Let me read this. Milky Way is for sure throwaways.
I knew it was a throwaway candy.
Uh-oh. We got a team Milky Way. Oh. Keep the Faith said, I like Milky Ways. Come on, Tori.
That's too soft.
Stand up for Milky Way, somebody. Thank you, Tori. But here's what I want to know. Why candy bars cost so much? Do you know how much a candy bar costs right now in the grocery store?
Minimum $2.50. And if you're getting something in a bag, $4.
Why?
I don't know. I got some peanut M&Ms the other day, and it was the share size, and it was a good $4.
I'm trying to figure out when and why candy costs that much. So it's like you can't take your kid, like, you know how your mom like, don't get in the store and don't you ask for nothing. Okay. Well, let me tell you something. Don't even take them now. Because if candy bars on the aisle are costing over $2.
Somebody messing up with the chocolate man.
When did that happen?
Somebody is messing up with the chocolate man. Come on, economy.
Listen, I'm not you
fuel and chocolate.
You can't even get a candy bar. You can't get a bag of chips. Like everybody should be very healthy because if nothing else, I cannot make, you can't afford the junk. Like I can't make myself pay that much money for a candy bar. I'm too cheap to be unhealthy at this point. I don't get it.
It is ridiculous.
I see Amina. She says Milky Ways are perfect for that poop game.
Oh no, maybe that's what it is.
This is definitely the haunted edition. All right, we got Tiffany Brown. She says, and the candy don't even taste as good as it used to. The formula changed and
Yeah,
it's
I agree.
smaller.
Yeah,
A
yes.
mess. So wait a
Yes.
minute. So
Smaller and more expensive. How that work?
where they do that at? America.
Make sure you get all your K's.
Get them all in. All
Lord
right.
have mercy.
Jamesa says, I remember more families being out. The kids painting faces and contests at school.
Yeah.
Candy bars were 25 cents and big like the king size.
Yeah, like big.
Exactly.
Took you a whole week to eat one candy bar.
For real. You could actually share it. If if you had siblings, y'all could share a candy bar. You cut that thing up and get you a nice little,
Everybody could get a row.
you understand?
And the blocks were like, you know what I mean? You get a block. You get a block.
You can't do that no more.
Mm-mm.
Wow. But
and then some of the games, we don't even do those games. Like, who knows what bobbing for apples?
That's what I was about to say.
Who knows what that is?
I remember the school festivals. That's right.
Yeah.
You would have the school festivals. They would make do the little scary house and all of that. You get dressed up and
take pictures on the bale of hay.
Right. Play all of the games. And you actually did. You took what did they call it where you took that little ride?
The hay ride.
The hay ride. Do they do that stuff anymore?
I don't think these children know what that is. Well, I don't think they do it. They know what the haunted houses are.
Wow.
But
sip on your tea. Somebody said I was like a cup of tea.
A whole cup. With agave.
How about a little brown sugar?
Little brown sugar. Little honey.
Little brown sugar. All right. I see Amina here. She says, I think it's the fat tax. LOL. They know they got people addicted, so they know they're running the prices up. And she's right. She's absolutely right. Amina says, them little Debbie cakes too. Oh, I used to
fudge
like
round. Just give me the fudge round.
I used to like
and the
the
Star Crunch.
I like the what was it? The Swiss?
Yeah, I would do the Swiss rolls.
Swiss rolls, yeah.
You're talking about the chocolate one, not the is that raspberry?
I don't know. Yeah, it has a chocolate coating.
The chocolate.
Yeah, I used to like those. Keep the Faith with Taurus said the bag of chips be empty. It's full of air. It ain't empty. It's full of air.
I'm sorry. That's good.
It's
full.
It's full of air. What is going on?
5 chips. You can't even get the seasonings to coat your fingertips anymore.
Right.
It's not enough chips in there to get the seasonings to coat your fingertips.
Wow. Keep the Faith with Taurus said them Chico sticks so small. Ooh, I ain't heard. I used to love Chico sticks. You remember those?
Me. Yeah, you see me. She took me.
Ooh, Chico sticks.
Yeah, the peanut butter and the Chico.
Oh, I used to love those.
Now I want a Charleston chew. See what you just did?
Ooh, Charleston chews.
Yeah.
That was the thing too. Tiffany said trunk or treat too. Oh, so that's what they do now, the trunk or treat. I got you. But you're right. We had the festivals. You bob for the apples. It was a fun time. Those you took me back with that. Amina says, don't nobody want to bob for apples.
Not with
these people
different strands of COVID.
Talking about eating.
I'm not bobbing. I don't even want. Look, I won't even let my kids do waterfalls in the class. Like, no, y'all can't even do waterfalls. Please don't do waterfalls.
Wow.
You're skeeving me out. Bobbing for apples.
I see we got Stanford in the building. How you doing, man? He said, good evening, beautiful souls. Good evening to you too, man. We're here talking about some of the things that you might remember about Halloween. This is a haunted edition, talking about some scary things. We used to tell the scary stories. Where does it come from? What do you believe? What side are you on? It can be some of anything. Because, America just take things, they steal an idea and they run with it. And we don't know. We don't know. Right? All right. And Jamesa says, and they are white. Now, I'm confused Because we was talking and I don't know what happened.
Who is white?
I did. Them?
Them?
I don't know. I see Jamesa says, I love Chico Sticks. I went on a hayride in Cleveland. It was fun. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Stanford said, what's tonight's topic? I'm just tuning in. Well, let me let you know. We're doing a little bit of everything. Tonight, I've got Ayo The Orator here. This is the Poets House Live, a virtual open mic, the haunted edition. So if I have any poets out there who are listening right now, I'm going to go ahead and let the mic be open. The mic is open. So get in the comments and let me know if you want to come on in. And if you do, but only if you got a poem and only if I know you. Don't come in here thinking you're going to say something and I don't know who you are and you say something that might have to get me kicked off the air. I'm just going to mute you. Mute. That's what I'm going to do. All right. You want to share another piece of poetry?
Yeah, something spiritual.
All right, let's go.
Write something spiritual. Stir the embers in the soul. Break for coals diminishing. Feel whole. Rekindle, spark flames. Burn deep inside. Brandish beautiful luminescent pride. More than a colored girl, pray a prayer. Cover in meek and humble. Deliver from despair. Take tears from childhood eyes, dry them, enlighten, salvage, cherish, give ruin flight. Surrender fear, terror, and taunt, relinquish them to the wind, sculpt a future view, a new life do begin. Beat pass against stone where river flows up, willingly instill the will to fill a cup. For at times, motherless, detached, push aside, pin in places of overlook where no love supplies. So write something spiritual, a marking of appease. Write something spiritual because the spirit has to feed.
Snaps on snaps on snaps on
Snappity.
snaps. See, I wasn't prepared, because I was, doing
was
a little
scared.
something, doing a little something behind the scenes here. So I wasn't prepared exactly. But snaps on snaps on snaps. All right. Yeah. And somebody agree with me. She said, snaps on snaps, Ayo. Exactly. All right. I see Keep the Faith for Tori. She says, Kadara said, Tanya got on her hater blockers. Yes, I do. I did. And see, I didn't have them on initially at the beginning of the show. I had to change. I had to switch over. I had to. Mm-hmm. I had to. Let me get back in here. I see the comments are going through. I see Stanford. He says, I believe it's a pagan holiday, but it's something fun for the kids. If you're over the age of 12, you don't have no business trick-or-treating.
Yes, you do. You're snatching bags.
You know what?
I'm sorry.
I'm glad we don't have any 12-year-olds watching this. Listen, no, you don't. That's not what we did in my community. I don't know. I'm not saying nothing about nobody community. I'm just saying in mine, we didn't do that. I mean, it gives you some snaps for the poem. Absolutely. I don't know. I agree with him here. He says, and that's kind of what we were talking about, man. We didn't really know where we were going to go with the conversation because everybody has their own beliefs. People have different beliefs. And we know at the same time it's a bunch of BS, and we as adults know that, but it's something different that we do with the kids. But why do we do that? I don't know. Why do you think we continue to do that? Because if that's how we feel as adults, then why are we taking our kids out? And then if we feel like it's something that should be fun for the kids, why don't we understand it? I don't know. I'll wait. Somebody make a comment.
Yeah, make a comment. I think we just really need that day. Well, we feel like we need that day to pretend we're something we're not. It's just a break from reality. We get to play, dress up, and embody something that we're not.
That's what you're going with.
That's what I'm gonna go with.
I like it. I mean, it sounds good to me. It sounds good. We can work with that. Somebody else. Come on, class. Raise your hand.
Taking turns.
Don't make me call on you. Don't make me call on you. I agree with you. I agree. You've said nothing wrong. I think I want to read something. I want to read Divided States of America. Now, why would I choose to read that on Halloween? I don't know. I just opened up the book and I said, hey, let's do it. All right. Here we go. We living in these United States where we are divided families with divided mindsets, causing divided communities with lack of opportunities for togetherness, for wanna be together folks like me, trying to get us to live together, stand together, build together, but do whatever it takes for us to live like Sister Sledge. We are family. Was that just for the radio? I can hear somebody sigh, oh, here she go. Well, yeah, I just wish it was here we go. And we just do something different, do something better, get it together, because it makes no sense to be in the United States in this state of dividedness. In this poem, ain't got much pride in it. These words some will resent, but try and make it make sense. If you can. Living in America right now, call it what it is. The good old DSA, Divided States of America, where freedom lacks intelligence, where race is irrelevant because we are divided by so many different things. And they say, let freedom ring. That sounds like such an interesting thing. We're caught up in a Twitter universe attention span, short on character. Some trying to swipe left and the right ain't really right. With a president who said, let's make America great again, because he knew that's what we'd have to do after he was in office. A position of profit. Where are our profits? Bring intelligence back again. Give more respect to blood, not skin. Brown and yellow and the whole rainbow. We all know we could be great. Most of us really are. Racism won't work. It never has. We won't go back to days past. Better learn from generations before. Don't let tweets and posts push us to civil war. Memes and hashtags are one thing. In these streets, Black Lives Matter for real. Swipe left if you want, but don't let those right thoughts be the wrong thoughts to get you killed. Politics, Republican or Democrat. Let's not think about that. Our leaders need to be smarter, for starters, to make living in this country easier, not harder, to work together for all people, with all nations, commit to better borders, make me proud to be this American daughter. Now that would be great. But right now, we living in this divided state. And that's that poem. That's that poem. All right? Living in these times is you know, it's very, very difficult. And not just in America. I could almost feel this way about the world right now when we look about what's going on, and we're talking about, this is the haunted edition. We're being haunted right now with what is going on worldwide. It's outrageous. I see we got Stanford here. He says people need to, what is that? Relearn the true definition of the word love. Absolutely. I agree with you there. Right? I see Tori, she says snaps on snaps on snaps. We got some snaps there from Tiffany. Also some snaps from Amina. All right. See, Amina has a comment here. She said, can you see that? We participate falsehood and label it as fun because we don't fully understand the origins of tradition. Sometimes we know, but keep things going beyond meaningful tradition just out of culture or complying with social norms. You know, that's scary. Being the person who consciously chooses not to celebrate the holiday, even when you see how it can be fun, but you do different intentionally because you live for truth and not popularity or external validations. I see no lies here. It's all about the individualism that we all seem to think that we have. I um I often wonder if we decided to, because we brought into the falsehood of thinking that one person can really make a change. And I think we need to stop kidding ourselves because it really is going to take a collective, even a small collective can make a change. But see that one person? No, that's not happening. I see Keep the Faith with Tori. She said, that's why I was late at a political meeting. That poem was on point, Tanya. Appreciate you. I just felt like, it needed to be said. But I feel like I said, we can look at this bigger than America. It's like the world is divided right now. It's a scary thing right now. It's a scary thing for a whole lot of people. And a lot of us are blessed in a whole lot of ways, and we don't even know it. Because there's people who can't sleep right now. There's people who don't have anywhere to sleep right now. That's scary. That's a haunting thing. There's people who don't have food to eat right now. That's scary. While some people are living in a country or living in a neighborhood and they're smiling and laughing, and that's perfectly fine. That is their life, and they're getting their candies, you know. But kind of like what Stanford said, it just depends on what side of that picture you're going to be looking at or living in, you know. All right. Tori says, yes, Amina. Okay. Amina also says it definitely takes numbers. It does takes numbers. I see we got Sonyetta Cooper in the building. How you doing, lady? Peace and blessings, queen. How are you on this evening? Stanford says we need that Jesus type of love for the world to turn it around and get it together.
Why is it hard to get to that though? If we
If
have
we
so
know
many
it,
that are afraid, and we know that fear is what's keeping the pain going.
mhm.
Why wouldn't it be easier to care?
Capitalism.
It costs too much to care.
Well, because everybody wants to, we live in a society where capitalism happens to rule, and people, I'm accumulating my stuff over here.
Mm-hmm.
This is mine.
Yeah.
And I don't know what you're doing over here. But maybe you need to get yourself together if you want some of this, that what I got, instead of sharing, you know? And I'm saying that a little tongue in cheek, but that is the reality of the world, because there's people who feel like they own certain things and they accumulate certain things, and then we're not helping other people. I often think that it is our responsibility as people to help someone else. I just feel like we all individually, there are people, a number of people around us. Like, I can't help everybody, but I've got a few that I might be able to do something for, and likewise. And I feel like the same way we say that each one teach one, and well, each one help one. Let's lift somebody up. You know.
And I always feel like there's something that you have of value, even if it's just within your character, that you can bring to the table that amplifies or that pushes the whole table forward.
Absolutely.
Because people, they feel funny about help.
Well, see, you know
They feel
what?
funny about helping, and they feel funny about being the one that's being helped too. People have funny feelings about these things. So if we could stay on the side of where everybody's got some pluses.
But hear me. You're saying something really deep, so I want to stay right here for a minute. You said people feel funny about help, right?
Yes.
And that is so unfortunate because I feel like one of the strongest things that you can do is ask for help. Serious. And the reason why I feel like that's one of the strongest things you can do is probably because of what I'm hearing in the underlayer or undertone of what you're saying. Like people feel, afraid to ask for help. Well, see, they got to get past that because if you need it, you got to be strong enough to ask for it. That means you've got to be stronger than your ego. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know why people look at asking for help as a weakness because in fact, when you're strong enough to ask for help, you got a strength. And sometimes, I mean, and you also said something that was very important. Like you said that people can help in other ways, which is leading me to say that help doesn't always have to be monetarily or I get that. But when you need help, you got to ask for help. You can't expect people to read your mind. You can't expect people to assume, you know. I often feel like as a person who has been helped and as a person who helps, I don't feel like it's my responsibility to ask you if you need for help and help you if you can't.
So one now.
Yeah, help me help you. Let me know. Don't make me. Yeah, don't do that. So that's what I feel like we need to share that message with people. You need to know, like, hey, everybody has gone through some things in their lives. Everybody has gone through a time where they have needed some help. Nobody has done anything successful alone. No one. And I don't care what point they are in their lives. Everyone knows, you know? So we need to get that message through that there's you got to be strong enough to ask for it. But that's something that people have to work out for themselves, you know? I see we got some comments coming on through. Let's see. Amina says, did I read that? Okay. No. So much propaganda. The media can push certain narratives while real truths are skewed. I pray for us, for real. The oppression isn't always obvious. To me, the fact that a genocide is occurring and some people don't know or don't care to know because they are focused on dressing up as the undead, witches, or whatever character of their choice just for fun and candy. Wow. I knew somebody was going to go there.
Yeah, the distractions.
I knew someone was going to go there, and there's no lies detected here because all of these things are true. All of these things are true at the same time. There's so many things going on in the world that people are just not aware of. And there are some kids who are in danger right now. And by the same token, there's some kids out here smiling and laughing, and we love it, and they're getting their treats and they're having fun. And that is to life. How do we balance that? How do we balance that? I don't know. Amina says asking for help requires vulnerability. Absolutely. That's it. But to get to that vulnerability, you've got to step outside of, vulnerability and the ego has a strange relationship, very strange relationship. I see Stanford here. He said, it don't cost anything to love one another. Okay. Not pretend love. God's love is unconditional. What a blueprint for us given by our creator. Absolutely, man. Absolutely. But what you're saying here is real. I'm seeing no lies detected. Keep the faithful Taurus. She says, wow, Io stepping on my toes. I love to help, but I don't like asking. Now, Tanya, that's it. My pride. I'm telling you, it's not something that none of us know. You know what I'm saying? Or don't know, I should say. It's not. It's not. But you got to ask yourself. You got to ask yourself. I just feel like people.
Why is it scary to ask?
Why is that scary to ask? Like, who set it up in your mind? You got to ask yourself, who set it up in your mind that you can't ask? Because here's the thing. If you don't ask, you know you're not getting it.
I'm talking about closed mouths.
A closed mouth can't get fed. Ain't nobody reading your mind, baby. We don't know. We don't know. We don't. But you're not. Like, I don't know. I don't know. But we got to ask ourselves this. We got to ask that question. Why? Why? Who put that in our mind? Is that something that someone told you? Where does that come from?
Yeah, and what has actually been put there? Because okay, you had your experience, you asked for the help, you got the help, and then what happened?
I don't know.
Yeah, what happened? You were talked about, people pitied you, you don't want to be pitied. Like what happened? Something happened in there.
Now, when you say pity,
It's-
I get what you're saying, but it still takes me back to that being ego driven. Because if I am in a need of help to a point that I can't figure it out myself, that I am going to use my last strength to ask for some help, right?
Right.
I feel like I got to do it. Now, do people not ask for help because they feel they might get rejected?
Maybe.
That could be.
Some do feel like the answer will be no, or will be judged and say, well, judged as in, why are you in this situation to have to ask for this help anyway, or at all? Or you get that help and you didn't do what that person who helped you thought you should have done with the help. You didn't go as far as you I mean, seriously, people gauge you. I gave you this help and you didn't do enough with the help that I gave you. So now you got to talk about that. I don't think people want to be talked about and judged. And I think that keeps them from asking for the help. It keeps them out of moving forward once they actually get the help. Me, if you help me, I'm happy and I'm so grateful. And I really don't, it's not about the person who helped. It's about me getting further along to where I need to be so I don't have to ask for that help, or it gets me to the position where I can become the helper.
Exactly.
So
that's what I'm saying.
yeah.
And that's
get
why
the help.
That's why I feel like we should do that. Because yeah, you want to be a lender and not a borrower.
Yeah, you do.
You do. But that doesn't mean that there won't be a time that you may have to borrow. So, like I said, that narrative of like whatever it is that makes you feel that way, I feel like that is all internal. It's mostly internal because to think about, like, to pre-think about what somebody's going to think because you ask, like, you're doing that to yourself. Like, if a person is going to say no, allow them to say no. But I'm not getting ready to take myself through a whole scenario of what this person is getting ready to think or this, that, and the other. I can't do that.
Or because they had that experience with someone else who was the helper.
Well, then
and then
don't
it just
ask that
them,
motherfucker for no help again. Right.
Don't ask that one.
Right.
That's not the helper.
That's not, right. Next.
Exactly.
Wow. I see we got Amina in here. She says, I know we have to tread light on that subject. And I'm not saying we should all be miserable because of, what is this, atrocities elsewhere, but I know we would leverage opportunities to share awareness so that we can spread love and mobilize towards what's needed. Things going to change. I agree with you. Amina, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, that how difficult it was for us to have to like censor ourselves. Like, really, it makes the conversation so incredibly difficult. But the bottom line is, we want children to be safe. We want families to be safe. People are out here choosing sides, and I don't know how you choose sides over life and over children. I don't know how you do that. We were talking about people wanting to collect. This is mine. This is mine. I want this, you know? You move over here. You can't come over here. This is mine. That's a lot of what's going on. And we can't even have a proper conversation about it. Not even in America. And that should tell you something. Or at least you can't do it in these internet streets. You won't do that in these internet streets. No, you won't.
They turn the street lights out on you.
Okay. Click, click. Shut her down. Now think about that seriously. If that is happening to us here in America, where we have freedoms, okay, you guys need to be thinking about the things that you need to be doing, and how I'm hearing people talking about not voting and this, that, and the other. You cannot be thinking that way in times like this, when you see rights being revoked, when you see courts being stacked up to push an agenda that is not for the betterment of a whole body of people. We got to think about what's going to work for a whole body of people, for the majority of the people. And I don't mean a majority of a race, of a religion, or beliefs. I'm talking about of the human race of people. This is crazy. I see we got Kimberly here. She says, someone once told me, if you are too proud to ask for help, you must hold judgment about others who need your help. Oh, wow. And I understood that to mean, if you believe that everyone needs help sometimes, and I personally believe that, then why are you too big to ever need help? Woo!
Humble.
Oh my gosh.
Pull it on down.
Let me read that one more time. Woo! Good Lord. This is a whole word right here. This was supposed to be a haunted show. It started all haunted. I like where we at. She said, someone once told me, if you are too proud to ask for help, you must hold judgment about others who need your help. Golly. And she stopped right there. She said, and I understood that to mean, if you believe that everyone needs help sometimes, then I personally believe that, then why are you too big to ever need help? Because you ain't.
Pull it on down.
Because you ain't. Golly. Now, somebody needed to hear that.
Yeah.
Somebody needed to hear that. You know? That's a message. All right. Keep It Faithful Torah said, people broadcasting what they did and then throw up in your face what they did, it has hindered me. Man, I don't know what kind of
these are not the helpers.
I keep trying to tell you that those ain't the people that those are not the helpers. Those the MFers.
No, I love it. Tie it on in.
Okay.
Yeah, I needed that.
They not the ones. You asking the wrong people.
Yeah.
Tiffany Brown, she said, or could get blackmailed. Lord, listen. Y'all know what? Y'all get rid of let me get full screen.
They're re-haunting. The haunting is coming back.
to all my good people out here, because there is a difference. There are good people out here. You understand me? And I am so grateful to every good person who is at the sound of my voice right now, every good person who knows that they have done something for me, who knows that I needed them, who was valuable to me, who never made me feel like some of the things that I'm seeing you guys put up in the comments. It like that junk. I'm glad I got my hater blockers on, Kadarius. I do. What kind of friends y'all got? And it don't even have to be a friend. What kind of people are you asking? What kind of people are you around? You need to change your environment. Figure a way out. Because you ain't around the right people. Everybody needs somebody. And it don't have to be your friend. It don't have to be your mama, your grandma. It don't have to be none of that. It can be. It doesn't have to be. But I'm going to go back to Kimberly's comment. Like, why you feel like you too big? Because of the thing about it is this. If a person can help you, they will. If they can't, they can. Because, I mean, we can't count other people's money, too. There's a lot of people out here who, let me tell you this. And this could be a thing, too. There's a lot of people out here who look like they got money. They driving money. They live in a big house. They living in money. They got big bills. They got problems bigger than yours. They can't give you nothing because they don't have $1 to spare. They just look like, you know how much it takes to maintain a lifestyle like that? A lot. And they might not have anything to spare. So these are people that we can't spend other people's money. So I'm also a person who believes that. Just because they driving something that looks, they might be driving a Benz. They might be living in a really great neighborhood. The kids going to private school. All of those things cost money. And shit free in America. So while it looks like they have a lot of money, and they do, and they make a lot of money, and they do.
But it's all gone. Or it's not lucrative.
Right. But they spend a lot of money. Didn't Biggie have that in a song, More Money, More Problems? That's true for a lot of people. A lot of people. Everybody's not fiscally responsible. Okay, we read that one. I see Tiffany said, okay, we read that one. Could get blackmail. Keep the Faith Victoria says, when I help, people will never know unless that person tells them. Exactly.
Yeah, unless that person
tells that, And it is what it is. Tori also says, some people do for wrong reasons. People see what you do. God sees why you do it. I always do from the heart and never throw it up in people's face. Well, like that's not even like the stuff that you guys are saying. It's just not even a part of my thought process. But I respect what you're saying because there's truths here. This is somebody's truth. Amina says, right. It's really scary too because for me, us living in a free set country, we can't even express ourselves freely. Exactly. We're talking about how we are losing some of our freedoms, our freedom of speech, a lot of things. From haunted to inspiring and healing. Well, you can't get no poets in a conversation and
it's going to come around. Trust that.
The true essence is going to come out. Now, the day is, they say it's a holiday. They say it's a holiday. I see Kimberly, she said, not the helpers, the MFs.
Yeah, I'm stuck right there. I like it though.
But that's true. Right. Amina said, right, that took me out. I'm just saying, they not the ones. Kimberly says, my grandma used to say, if you help somebody and every time you see them, you got to remind them that ain't given from the heart. She used the example, if you give someone some clothes, when you see them in it, you ain't got to say, I'm glad my pants fit you. Real help.
Oh, wow.
Real help is humble, not humiliating. Who raised you? Who raised this woman right here? That's my little sister, by the way. But I agree. I agree. Wow. Well, you know what? We're living in some times right now that are difficult for a lot of people. And we can't pretend that. And I feel like if we're going to be aware, let's be aware. But like I said, people aren't going to know if you don't make them aware. People have so many things going on in their lives. Just like I said, the people that we might look at who have all of the things, well, they have all of the things, they work for all of the things, but they got to keep working. They can't lose their job. People out here losing houses right now.
Okay.
People's homes are being foreclosed on. You've got a kid right now who's barely able to stay in college right now, who might not be able to go back next semester. We know these things happen all the time. Now, how do I say this? You can get help in certain situations. And the larger thing is to be able to help yourself. So I know what that is. I mean, I'm a person who wants to be able to help myself. That's natural. That's what we want to do. Right? But listen, you got to figure some things out. You really got to figure some things out. I think people don't really realize that your mindset is so very important. You got to sit down and write out what you want. That sounds like it's crazy. If you're going to believe in Halloween and you're going to believe in ghosts and goblins, why you can't believe that you can write and you can think your prosperity? You can. But you won't do that if you're not willing to change some of the habits that you have, some of the people that you are around, if you're not willing to do some different things. If you don't do different things, then
same result.
You understand me? All right. I see we got Amina here with a comment. She said, I don't know what this means. Look, ATP, if someone helps me with little intentions, then the turnaround and the talk bad about me and to tell others that help me, I don't care because I know,
I got the help.
Right. I know in reality, God blessed me through them. Okay. And they cursing themselves by running their mouth. I like this thought process right here. Some people are so poor, all they have is money.
Whoa, do that one.
Let me read that again. Some people are so poor, all they have is money, morally bankrupt. They may grow, but if not, their growth ain't my responsibility. Woo, girl. Say what you say because you said what you said. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Tiffany says, woo. I feel the same way. I feel the same way. I tell you what, guys. Ayo. We way past an hour. We don't went from the ghosts and the goblins to helping people. I hope this conversation helped someone. I'm going to go back to that because that's really why I kind of wasn't paying attention to the time, because I feel like there was so much value in the conversation that we're having here, the conversation through the chat. And that's the importance of conversation. And that's really why I like doing these type of podcasts. I've often said that, for a long time, I really never liked lives. Lives really scared me. They scared me as a producer because, number one, I kind of like to have you. Let's be honest. I need to have some
editing.
Yeah, I need to be able to edit.
Take that out.
Oh, no, they didn't say that. I'm getting ready to make this baby nice and neat, but we just went through some things within the past few years, and we went through a pandemic era where just lives just became more important, but it scared me a lot. But I got over it because I realized that there are conversations that we need to be having. People are listening and watching so many different things on the internet. And there's a lot of stuff out there, and there's a lot of good stuff out there. So let us know that too. We're very quick to watch and hang on to the stories that are like kind of crazy and that we say we don't understand, that we don't want to be a part of, but we do because we click on this stuff. But there's a lot of good content out here. And I want to be a part of having some conversations that would just spark your interest, that might make you think a little bit differently, that might influence you to go listen to conversations and other people, and be the type of person that you want in your life.
You want.
You know? All right. What Miss Tori in here saying? She said, Miss Tori said, this was so good. All right, all right. Thank you, thank you. I caught the part I needed. Respect. She also says, I love the lives. All right. Well, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. Before we get out of here, though, I do want to allow you to give one last message before you go. I appreciate you coming in here and talking with us today. Excuse
me.
Was that you? You know, you got to sneeze cute when you're on camera.
Oh my goodness. That was sweet. Didn't even make a sound.
I worked very hard on that. I was hoping like my whole insides didn't just explode. I was like, ooh. All right, but lead the people with something.
One lasting message. Don't be afraid to ask for help, and don't be afraid to express yourself, because you know where you need to be. And you have to collect the things, put in your basket so you can get to where you need to be to serve as you know you are to serve. So don't be afraid to ask, and don't be afraid to collect.
Absolutely. I had my mic on mute because I did get that loud sneeze out. Great. And also, I want to encourage people to go check out Ayo's book, Backwater Blues. It's available on Amazon.com. Go ahead and get that book. Get a Christmas gift for somebody. Get a gift for yourself. We need to read more. And the book doesn't really cost a whole lot of money. She's selling hers for $5.99. I'm gonna tell you something. Let me get this off. Let me tell y'all something. You won't get mine for no $5.99. No, you won't. Mm-mm. Go ahead and get the book one more time. Backwater Blues is in paperback, available on Amazon.com. Ayo The Orator.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you. All right, y'all. You know what you were listening to. The open mic was here tonight. We didn't get so much into the open mic. We had a conversation, but we can do that. This was the Poets House Live, your favorite virtual open mic.